Hey everyone, the good, the bad and the buggy here to give you some tips on how to play Link in ARGO. First off, let's briefly go over the rules for this game mode. The objective of each match is to score more points than the opposing team. To do this, you must capture the Link nodes indicated on your map. First, you must capture 1A and 1B nodes by having a member of your team standing next to the box at that location indicated on the map. Note that if you have more than one team member stood next to the node, you will capture it faster. Once you've captured those two nodes, you can then capture node 2. Only once you have captured node 2 does your team start accumulating points. Merely holding 1A and 1B does nothing except provide spawns on these locations and allow you to capture 2. After capturing node 2, you may then attempt to capture the main node, indicated on your map by the circle with the M. You should note that in order to capture the main node, you need to be next to the tower in the centre of the circle, not the boxes like the previous nodes. While your team holds the main node as well as node 2, you will gain even more points. However, to gain the extra points provided by main, you must have a team member inside the main node area. Simply capturing the main node and leaving it alone gets you nothing. If you examine your minimap, you will see that there are actually two nodes shown as node 2. The node that is not connected to your 1A and 1B nodes is the enemy's node 2. This is important as it is possible for you to remove the enemy team's hold over this node the same way you capture your own nodes by standing next to the box in the indicated area. Note that you cannot capture this node, merely remove the enemy team's control and thereby denying them points. Another thing to note is that each team has a limited number of respawn tickets, which you can check by looking at the match scoreboard. Once a team has run out of tickets, dead players on their team can no longer spawn, and if the remaining players are wiped out, then their team will automatically lose the round. Finally, at some point in the round, an airdrop will land somewhere in the area. By capturing this airdrop, you will prevent the other team from capturing any nodes for 30 seconds and stop them from getting any points too. Note, however, that this does not stop them from removing your control over your node 2. Now, onto some basic tactics. At the start of the round, 3 players should capture the friendly nodes in order to get your score moving as quickly as possible, while still leaving other players available for reasons I will explain in a moment. One person should rush to capture 1A, and the second person should rush to capture 1B. The third person should run just past 2 to ambush or otherwise delay the enemy team's push. This is a very important job, as the team with the greatest advantage in the round will be decided based on how successful the initial rushes are. Killing the rushing enemy would be ideal, but merely delaying them long enough for the rest of the capturing players to move up will help your team immensely. Once 1A and 1B have been captured, those 2 players should move up to 2 and capture, then defend that node. While those 3 players are handling your team's nodes, the remaining 2 players should rush to the enemy team's node 2. Bear in mind that you don't need to push the enemy team's capture all the way off. This means that the node can be 90% captured, and that's okay, as that doesn't get them any points and they won't be able to capture main either. All you need to do is ambush people moving towards the node, as if they know someone is there, they won't move to capture until they are sure they've gotten rid of you. So while killing the enemy would be preferable, staying alive is the priority, as this will delay the capture as long as it takes for them to hunt you down and thereby deny them any points. With this in mind, I see little point in attempting to capture main, as this will spread your team thin, and the process of capturing and holding main leaves you very vulnerable, even with a numbers advantage. Whereas if you focus simply on holding your second node and preventing the enemy from capturing their second node, you only have a single, easier point to defend, whilst preventing the enemy from gaining any points whatsoever to ensure your lead grows. So if you're in the lead, it is important that preventing the enemy from capturing their second node takes priority, even at the cost of your own second, as if neither team is gaining points, you'll still be in the lead. If you're desperate for points and you're pressed for time, it may be worth sacrificing a few players to quickly take some extra points from main, but this is a big gamble and should only be done as a last resort. When the airdrop lands, it's definitely worth the effort to capture it, as this can be used to close a small gap should the other team be a few points ahead. But just remember that while it does prevent the enemy team from capturing, it does not prevent them from decapturing your node. A round can be won or lost in the first couple of minutes, so it's important to get your initial rush right. Don't go the obvious way when rushing. Getting to where you need to be as quickly as possible is important, but the seconds you save won't be worth a thing if you get gunned down running in a straight line from your spawn to the enemy's node 2. Instead, take a few seconds to circle around the enemy, even if this means allowing them to capture the node. If you can kill them as they move away, you'll force them to waste time respawning, losing them tickets, as well as giving you the opportunity to break their capture of the node. But beware of any enemies that may have run forward to stop your advance. For this reason, both players should not approach from the same direction. At the very least, have one go for a direct path to attract attention, while the other makes a longer flanking manoeuvre. Grenades will be very useful in this scenario, as you'll know exactly where the enemy is when they're capturing the node. Remember to mix up your routes and pacing over the rounds though, as the enemy will quickly wise up to your tactics if you keep moving along the same path at the same speed every time. Go for a slower push or circle even further around their node to come from the direction of their spawn. Alternatively, if you've already successfully rushed twice, it is possible that the enemy may commit more people to defending against your rush on their node too. In this case, you could try having your rush players help capture the friendly nodes even faster, thereby giving you a slight advantage with point accumulation before moving towards the enemy node. In summary, Link is a game mode whose victors can potentially be decided by the team with the most successful rush. A team should split their players into two, 3 capturing players and 2 rushing players. One capturing player should take 1A, while another takes 1B. The third should move up quickly to stop or delay the enemy team's rushing players before the other 2 capturing players move up to capture node 2. The rushing players should quickly move up to the enemy's node 2, taking care not to make themselves too obvious and prevent the enemy from capturing it. The main node should be ignored except in the most dire of circumstances, whilst the airdrop should be captured if possible. I hope you've all found this video helpful. Thanks for watching and good luck.